Halibut is a flat-bottom fish, often living in cold and deep seawater, with high commercial value, so fishermen pay attention to catching them and apply many methods, in which long fishing lines are a traditional but still very effective technique. The process starts from the preparation stage. Fishermen need to choose fishing lines of suitable length, often lasting for kilometers, with thousands of hooks attached at certain distances. On each hook, they attach bait, usually small fish, squid or fresh marine creatures with strong odors to attract halibut. When the ship leaves the port, fishermen take the fishing line system to the open sea, gradually lowering each section into the water, ensuring that the hooks are close to the bottom, in the right living layer of halibut. Dropping the fishing line requires precision, because if the line is tangled or the bait is not placed in the right position, the ability to catch fish will be greatly reduced. After dropping the line, fishermen often have to wait for hours, even days, for the halibut to find the bait and get hooked. During that time, the ship still has to monitor the current, weather, and check the positioning equipment to ensure the fishing line is kept on track. When it is time to retrieve the line, the work becomes hard and requires strength. Fishermen use hydraulic winches to gradually pull the fishing line several kilometers up to the deck. On each section of line, they check and remove the fish. The hooked halibut often struggle violently, but due to the structure of the sharp hook, they have difficulty escaping. Each halibut can weigh tens of kilograms, even more than 100 kilograms. So lifting them is also a challenge. Workers have to use iron rods or specialized hooks to hold and bring the fish up to the deck. After being brought on board, the halibut are classified. The big and strong ones are kept in the freezer to preserve their freshness for a long time, while small or poor quality fish can be discarded. The post-harvest processing stage is also very important. Fishermen gut the fish, remove the organs, wash them with seawater and immediately put them in a cold storage to avoid spoiling the meat. The whole process from preparation, fishing, waiting to harvesting requires the coordination of the entire crew. Although longline fishing does not yield as much as bottom trawling, it is considered more environmentally friendly because it minimizes the destruction of the seabed habitat and helps maintain long-term aquatic resources. Behind each successful catch is the sweat, effort and perseverance of fishermen, who always have to face the waves, cold and danger at sea to bring back precious seafood for humans in addition to basic techniques. Longline fishing for flounder also depends a lot on experience and understanding of the biological habits of this fish species. Flounder often live in areas with sandy or muddy bottoms, where they can easily camouflage themselves by burying themselves in the sediment to stalk prey. Therefore, fishermen must rely on fishing ground maps, data from sonar scanners and experience passed down from many generations to accurately determine where to drop the line. They often choose areas of suitable depth, where the current carries many small creatures, a natural food source that is attractive to flounder. The time of fishing is also important, because flounder are often active at dusk and dawn, when the low light makes it easier for them to hunt. Therefore, fishermen often time the line drop appropriately to increase the chance of catching fish. When reeling in the line, in addition to large flounders, fishermen may also encounter many other fish species such as cod, pompano, rays or even small sharks. These unwanted species sometimes damage the line, bite off hooks or destroy bait, making the job more difficult. To limit damage, fishermen must regularly check, replace damaged lines and arrange bait securely. During the process, they also face many risks from nature. A sudden storm can cause the fishing line to be swept away or tangled, causing the whole trip to be lost. Cold weather, large waves and strong winds make pulling the line extremely dangerous. Sometimes even a small mistake can cause fishermen to be injured or fall into the sea. Therefore, the cohesion and coordination between members on board is a key factor to ensure safety and efficiency. After each fishing trip, fishermen also have to spend time cleaning and maintaining the entire fishing line system. Hooks and winch equipment. To prepare for the next trip, long fishing lines, if not carefully checked, are easily corroded by sea salt, rusted or damaged during use, directly affecting the catch. All of these steps demonstrate the meticulousness, patience and long-term skills of the seafarer. Halibut fishing with long lines is therefore not simply a way to make a living, but also a traditional profession associated with the culture of the sea. With the silent sacrifice of people who dare to accept the challenge of the ocean. Not only stopping at harvesting halibut, fishermen also have to carry out many processing steps on board to ensure product quality before docking. After being brought onto the deck, the flounder is usually immobilized immediately by hitting the head or using a specialized tool. Then the belly is cut open to remove all the internal organs. Because if left for a long time, the internal organs will decompose and affect the taste and quality of the meat. This step must be done quickly and cleanly, and cold seawater must be used to wash away the blood and fluids in the fish's body. Next, the fish is immediately placed in a freezer or large icebox, maintaining a temperature of -1 to -2 degrees Celsius to keep it fresh. With giant flounders, which can weigh up to hundreds of kilograms, handling requires a lot of strength, sometimes requiring 2 to 3 people to lift them into the holding area. In addition, fishermen also pay special attention to grading by size and quality, because grade a flounder, with firm meat, beautiful white color and little fat, will be paid a very high price by high-end restaurants and markets. On the contrary, smaller or defective ones will be sold to local markets or used for industrial processing. When the ship returns to port, all the halibut caught will be unloaded and taken to processing plants or auctioned right at the fish market. Many seaports in Nordic countries, Russia, Japan or Canada are famous for their vibrant halibut auctions, where each fish is carefully evaluated and publicly bid. This is the stage where the fruits of the fisherman's labor are realized as income, compensating for the long days at sea. However, longline fishing for halibut also poses challenges related to marine resource conservation. If overexploited, halibut stocks will decline, directly affecting the marine ecosystem as well as the long-term livelihoods of the fishermen themselves. Therefore, many countries have issued strict regulations, such as limiting the number of hooks, the time allowed to fish, the minimum size of the flounder that can be kept, or applying a production control regime. These measures aim to ensure a balance between economic benefits and ecological protection. In the big picture, longline flounder fishing is not only a way to make a living, but also reflects the close relationship between humans and the sea, between the tradition of harsh labor and the awareness of resource conservation. It depicts the image of resilient, courageous fishermen, always facing the majestic and fierce nature, to bring back precious catches of fish to serve human life in many large sea areas such as the North Atlantic or North Pacific. Longline halibut fishing is also associated with long sea voyages, lasting from several weeks to even months. Boats are fully equipped with fuel, food, fresh water, navigation equipment and even cramped sleeping quarters for the crew. On board, life takes place in a cramped space. Each person must take turns dropping lines, watching for bait, pulling fish and processing products. In the middle of the vast ocean, they work while facing loneliness. Rough waves, fog and bitter cold. Many fishermen say that just one night of big waves, the boat tilts, fishing lines tens of kilometers long can be swept away or damaged, meaning the entire fishing trip is lost. Therefore, each trip to sea is always a gamble with nature, requiring perseverance and solidarity. When the halibut are brought back to port, their new journey begins. Some of the fish are sold directly to high-end restaurants, especially in Japan, where flounder is considered a premium ingredient for sashimi. Others are sent to processing plants, where they are filleted, packaged, flash frozen, and exported all over the world. As a result, flounder has become one of the most important commercial fish, bringing huge profits not only to fishermen but also to the entire seafood industry. However, behind the glamour are little-known stories of trade-offs. Many fishermen have lost their lives at sea due to work accidents or sudden storms. Some were swept overboard while pulling lines, others were caught by winches while operating, and some never returned. These losses have made flounder fishing one of the most difficult and dangerous jobs in the world. But because of that, it also exudes the brave spirit, strength and resilience of humans in the face of vast nature. Catching flounder with long lines is therefore not only a method of seafood exploitation, but also a testament to the flesh and blood bond between humans and the ocean, where every drop of sweat and even life is exchanged to bring back precious fish to feed many generations. Today, with the development of science and technology, the profession of catching flounder with long lines has also had many improvements to increase efficiency and ensure more safety for fishermen. The fishing line system is produced from super durable materials, resistant to salt, strong, and limited to breakage when stretched under the weight of giant flounder. The hooks are also designed in a specialized form, with the right curvature and hook tip to hold the fish's mouth tightly but still reduce the risk of serious injury to unwanted species caught. On board, modern winches with force sensors are installed, helping fishermen pull the line more easily, and warning when there is a problem with the line being stuck or broken. In addition, GPS satellite positioning equipment, radar and bottom scanning sonar help accurately identify fishing grounds with high flounder density, reducing search time and increasing the success rate. In parallel, many fishing vessels are also equipped with advanced preservation systems such as super-fast freezers, which can immediately freeze flounder at -40 degrees Celsius. preserving the freshness, color and nutritional quality of the fish meat until reaching the port. Thanks to that, flounder from far-flung seas can appear on dining tables in large cities after just a few days. In addition to technology, many countries and international fisheries organizations have also issued standards on responsible fishing. This means that when using longlines, fishermen must adhere to the limit on the number of hooks, control the size of the flounder retained, and apply measures to minimize the bycatch of other animals such as sea turtles, albatrosses or sharks. Some innovations have been applied, such as attaching special baits that are difficult to attract seabirds, using shark repelling devices or dropping lines at night to reduce the possibility of bycatch. These measures both help preserve the marine ecosystem and ensure that flounder resources can be maintained stably in the long term. Avoiding overexploitation. All show that longline flounder fishing, although traditional, is still constantly innovating to adapt to the times and meet the increasing demands of the global market. It reflects the combination of fishing experience passed down through generations with the power of modern science, creating a picture of both harsh and humane labor of people who have spent their lives at sea looking deeper into the socio-economic aspect. Longline halibut fishing also plays an important role in supporting coastal communities and maintaining maritime cultural identity. In many fishing villages in Scandinavia, Alaska or Japan, halibut fishing is not only a livelihood but also a long-standing tradition. Associated with fishing festivals, with folk stories about the sea and human resilience in the face of storms. Halibut, thanks to its high commercial value, has become a major source of income, helping to improve lives, build infrastructure and educate the next generation. Ships returning to port full of halibut are always a source of pride for the whole community, symbolizing collective strength and the spirit of overcoming difficulties. On the other hand, this profession also contributes to creating jobs for tens of thousands of workers in the seafood value chain, from fishermen directly going out to sea, factory workers, to traders and the global transport logistics system. A caught halibut does not stop at the boat offshore, but passes through countless hands of workers to reach the dining tables of diners in distant cities. However, this strong development also poses many challenges. The international market requires increasingly high quality, while the cost of fuel, equipment and preservation is constantly increasing, putting pressure on the shoulders of fishermen. Many families with long traditions have had to sell their boats and quit the profession because they cannot afford the operating costs. Especially during the seasons when halibut is scarce, the government and international organizations have had to step in with many support policies, subsidizing fuel, providing modern equipment, training in sustainable fishing skills, as well as building marine reserves to ensure long-term aquatic resources. Since then, fishermen have not only been hard workers in the open sea, but also become part of the global economic system, where each flounder carries economic, cultural and ecological value. The profession of catching flounder with long lines, therefore, is both a testament to the tenacious labor force and a symbol of the connection between tradition and modernity. between the small locality and the vast world. Moreover, the profession of catching flounder with long lines also clearly reflects the complex relationship between humans and nature. The sea brings huge profits but also always contains unpredictable dangers. And fishermen are the ones who live on the fragile boundary between life and death. Every time they go out to sea, they must prepare themselves to face unexpected storms, mountain-high waves, biting cold and weeks of loneliness. However, it is in such harsh circumstances that the strong will and team spirit are fostered, turning fishing into not only a job but also a way of life. A choice that is closely tied to flesh and blood. Flounder, with its high commercial value, is often compared to the white gold of the ocean. And the journey to conquer this fish has become a symbol of a courageous livelihood. Many fishermen pass on their experiences to their children, from how to tie the bait firmly, how to release the line to avoid tangles. To the secret of reading the wind direction, currents and even the color of the sea surface to predict fishing grounds. This knowledge is not found in books but is accumulated through decades of struggling with the waves, sometimes paying the price with blood, sweat and even life. Meanwhile, in terms of science and environment, the profession of catching flounder with long lines also contributes to shaping modern aquatic resource management policies. Researchers rely on data from fishermen, the number of flounder caught, size and season to analyze population trends and make conservation recommendations. This shows that fishing labor not only has direct economic significance but also provides valuable data for marine science and management. It is thanks to this combination that many countries have maintained a balance between exploiting and protecting marine ecosystems. All these factors combine to make longline flounder fishing a comprehensive picture, both harsh and heroic, both sweaty and tearful but also full of pride. It not only feeds the community, but also depicts the sacred bond between humans and the deep blue ocean, and if viewed from a broader perspective. The longline flounder fishing profession also reflects the movement of human society in the process of exploiting natural resources. From the early days with only small wooden boats and a few dozen rudimentary hooks, fishermen dared to venture out to sea to find fish. Up to now, with the development of the shipping industry, preservation technology and modern equipment, they can reach far-flung fishing grounds, fishing at depths of hundreds of meters under the ocean floor. However, the core nature of the profession remains unchanged: perseverance, ingenuity and the spirit of enduring the sea. Generations of fishermen follow each other, passing on each valuable experience as part of the heritage of coastal communities. Not only a means of making a living, this profession also creates its own cultural identity, expressed through the way people organize sailing ceremonies, sea Thanksgiving ceremonies, or through word-of-mouth stories about successful trips. Giant flounders caught on the hook, or terrible accidents in the stormy sea. All of this contributes to a rich maritime culture, where flounder fishing plays a central role. In the international market, flounder is increasingly becoming a luxury item, consumed in high-end restaurants from Asia to Europe. This means that the pressure on fishermen is also greater. They must meet high demand while ensuring quality and sustainability. Therefore, many fishing associations have been formed, not only to protect the rights of fishermen but also to maintain the reputation of flounder products in the world. Each flounder caught by longline is not simply a product of labor, but also carries within it a story about the ocean, about people and about the journey to conquer nature. It connects from small coastal fishing villages to luxurious urban banquets, From the calloused hands of fishermen to global gourmets. And perhaps, it is this intersection that has made longline halibut fishing a symbol